Okay, I guess that we are live. So first of all, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you, everyone. Today we are going to talk about building a B2B loyalty program. This is definitely my favorite format because it's going to be a deep dive into a case study. So today we have an expert loyalty builder with us, Chadi Al Abbasy, who is joining us. Chadi is a loyalty marketing and partnerships manager at Raqtan Group. So, with nearly a decade of experience in digital marketing, e commerce, media production, and customer loyalty, Chadi is the driving force behind ROAD, one of the first B2B loyalty programs for the food and beverage industry in the Middle East. Chadi, hello, great to have you.
Thank you so much for having me, and thanks so much for the amazing introduction. It's a pleasure to be a guest on one of your shows again.
Absolutely. It's going to be fun because we have discussed case study already. So I'm really familiar with the platform, but now with the webinar format, we are going to, have the opportunity to take a look at it. So briefly, just wanted to introduce the agenda for the audience. So we will start with introducing ekuep because this is the business and the business model for the loyalty program. Then we are going to highlight ROAD and what is so special about this particular loyalty program. We are definitely going to go through loyalty and gamification technology, since this is basically the industry that I represent. And here, from there, we are going to go to the conclusions and key takeaways, so that it is as practical as possible. So, without further ado, Shadi, if you could introduce us to ekuep and tell the audience a bit the platform itself.
So, in some brief words, ekuep is, I would love to say it's the number one online retail for commercial kitchen, restaurant, and coffee shop equipments. We've been operating in the Saudi market since the beginning of 2016. We started like Q4 2015, and we've been in the market since then. We are a part of the Raqtan Group, which is also the biggest supplier for commercial equipments for restaurants, coffee shops, hotels, hospitals, mainly in the hospitality section. And ekuep is our online presence. We have also it's a part marketplace. So we even have our competitors selling their equipments through our website. We're trying to make sure it is the only go-to platform for anyone opening up a new business. You just go to ekuep, nowhere else. And this is briefly in a few words.
Awesome. Thank you so much. So definitely the platform is huge. If you are in the Horeca, you will probably find everything you need there. It is also omni-channel because I believe apart from this e-commerce, you also have a dedicated application, right?
That's correct. So we love to, when people ask us about our company, we love to say that we are technology first, and then retail. We have our own mobile app, and everything is built in house. Even the platform itself. In the past, we used to work on WooCommerce, and we took a decision that we want to have our own platform. So the platform itself, it's fully designed, fully developed in-house, the application as well. And also for after sale and for the service and the maintenance, we have a dedicated application called Sphere, where when a customer actually opens an account in ekuep, and let's say they purchase some equipments, and then they open the account on Sphere, automatically all their equipments that was purchased through ekuep, they will see it added to their account. Whenever they have an issue with a machine, or they're requesting, let's say, their annual maintenance and so on, all they have to do is just click on the machine, request the service. They see how much it costs, if it's free or there's some sort of fees, and that's it. So we're trying to make sure that we provide a fully digital solution for our customers. Make sure that their process in buying the equipment is easy, and servicing the equipment later on is easy and simple as well.
Perfect. So this is something I really remember from the moment we were discussing the case study in detail. So that full customer experience. This is your, let's say, unique proposition. In fact, that you take care of the whole process. So it's not only about convincing people that this is the platform where they can find the best possible product and service, but also like to make sure that they stay happy and satisfied throughout the period of the use of the product they purchased, right?
Correct. Especially with with the traditional services, it works, no problems, but not all the time. You don't want to stay on the phone for like 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, especially when your customers are business owners. So for them, time is money. So we wanted to make sure that everything is at the palm of their hands. So even as a simple a process as requesting maintenance for a machine or service for the machine, all they have to do is just open the app, choose the machine, click on the machine, and choose the time slot that they want our technician to actually arrive at their location, and that's it.
Awesome. Awesome. Sounds incredible. So this is the ekuep, right? So that's the main business model, and then we have Rowad. So if you could highlight the program and tell us maybe a bit more. In fact, I might refer to the case study again. The fact that I really liked was the fact that the program was requested by customers, wasn't it?
Yes, and some in other words, yes. So because we're actually serving a certain segment of customers, which are business owners in that case, and also our basket size, it's not the same as if you're purchasing from just a regular or B2C retail website. Our basket size are huge, can reach millions in some cases. So customers have been seeing, and we're getting feedback like, okay, so what's the difference between a customers that's paying, as I said, maybe $1 million or $2 million a year, and someone is paying like 20 or 50,000, which is still a huge amount in terms of basket size. So again, we trying to give our customers the best customer experience, no matter how much they're spending. Of course, we have like VIP customers, the customers that we had the relationship since day one, and so on and so on. But again, we wanted to have some sort of a tailored experience for different segments of customers. And in that case, customers that spending more money on our platform, they have their business scale is bigger than maybe a chain that's of course bigger than just a regular coffee shop. Still get the same service, but not the same as a chain, for example, especially for example, for repetitive purchases, customers, and so on and so on. So the only thing that we saw on the horizon, which is the only solution and something that we were thinking about implementing in the past, but it took us some time, was a loyalty program. And that's when Ruwet came in. Yeah, I believe that's hopefully answers the question.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So there's also this particular element that I wanted to ask you about, and perhaps this is the moment that you had the idea for the program, but how did you actually decide to build it? You've already mentioned the custom e-commerce, the custom platform, the custom software. So what was the process of designing and implementing the MVP version of the program?
So the process itself was parallel. So we were doing the research, setting up the plan, and at the same time looking for a provider or a loyalty engine that can work with our like custom design platform. And in that case, the decision was to go for an API first engine, which is Open Loyalty in that case. And one of the best, when we were doing the research, one of the things that actually made it easier for us was the case studies. We've read most of the case studies that were in the website, and that actually gave us clarity on, okay, it's like from all the experiences that you guys had, all the clients, we saw that, okay, we believe that this is the best fit. And that was like one of the main things that we actually used to take the decision from all the testimonials and all the case studies. We saw, oh, okay, then probably this is the easiest way to go for it. And again, when we started with an MVP, it was as simple as we can, as very simple point-based program. You simply make a purchase, you get points, and you use it to get a discount for your next purchase. We didn't want to complicate things at the time when we actually were deciding to, okay, let's go with the loyalty program. We're coming up to one of our biggest sales seasons, which is Black Friday. We love to call it here White Friday. And before that was the Saudi National Day. And those are actually the biggest two campaigns of the year. We didn't want to complicate things. And I believe working with your development team and our team as well, I believe it took us probably 2 months until we actually had an MVP ready for launch by the time of the Saudi National Day. And that was, and I believe that was great, because testing out the program during your biggest campaigns of the year, that actually gives a lot of data on how to actually improve the program in the future. A lot of people sometimes won't go for that decision because, okay, we have our biggest two campaigns of the year. We don't want to screw up anything, so let's wait and do it. So, but no, the decision was, it's very simple MVP, and we decided to do it during our biggest campaigns.
This is great because, yeah, as you mentioned, usually with big launches, like, like a loyalty program, we tend to play it safe. But here, because of the MVP version and actually making it as simple as possible, you could implement it fast and then start learning, in those two biggest events of a year. So I believe that here, maybe we could say a bit about like the idea of using the loyalty engine and those like particular loyalty mechanics for the MVP. So to me, it just makes sense, because since you do have like a custom software, custom solution, you could focus the time of your developers on making sure that the platform works properly and it provides exceptional customer experience. But here, because of the use of loyalty engine, you could use the particular loyalty mechanics that you wanted to use in the MVP and just like basically implement it without the time to think about how to design it, how to program it, right? Was it the following logic?
It was actually, yes. We didn't actually spend too much time on actually working on the front end in that case. Back end in that case was, we started using your dashboard at first, which was very easy when creating rewards based on customers' actions and so on, setting like the value of the points, how much it will reward the customer instead of value in currency, in real currency, and so on. And again, that was the start. And later on, as soon as everything was connected with our platform, everything was done through our end. In that case, we created our own backend, and we're still using the open loyalty dashboard in that case to mainly for analytics, track down the usage and so on. So yeah, I believe that was the case in our way, and again, especially because, as I mentioned, we have a custom platform. Using the API was hassle free. So, and again, I believe like implementing a program in just 2 months and to go live after that, I believe that was unbelievable.
Sure. Yeah, I can imagine that it was incredibly fast. If we could go back to Road and maybe explain, because you've mentioned the MVP, so that was just like a simple points-based mechanics, and customers were collecting points and then they were getting discounts. But currently at this time, we have something like a business profile. If you could explain, how the program works currently, what is the, current iteration of the program?
So the program actually went through a lot of changes. Okay. Even the very slight changes actually made a huge difference. So from day one, it was a very simple point-based program. We didn't have any requirements for customer to join the program. So simply, as soon as you register on ekuep, you're automatically enrolled in the program. Okay. We had actually some actions that the customer, or some activities that the customer can actually do on our platform, even if they didn't purchase anything, so they can get points, so they can redeem their first voucher, which is, we have like a flat 5% discount with no limit. And we didn't have any, we didn't unlock any features at the beginning. So our customers, any customers who made orders in the past year before launching the program, we actually accumulated the points equivalent to their purchases, and we just added to their accounts. For new customers, they had to fill in the business profile so they can get like enough points to actually get their first 5% voucher. And that was the launch of the program. Of course, because the visibility of the program wasn't that huge, and we've seen the utilization of program wasn't the best on the first campaign, and in the second campaign as well. And you'll see after that right now we locked the features behind the business profile. The business profile was very, very, very important. We collected a lot of data that actually helped us put a certain segmentation on our customers. We had that in the past, but wasn't as much detailed as when we launched the program and we had the business profile. And using the data that we collected, we improved customer experience, like I would say above 200%. And I believe customers can see that now. Most of the important data that we collected, we wanted to know, whoever created the account, is he a decision maker? What's his role in the company? What kind of business is he running? We had this data before, but not for all customers, of course. But right now we understand if this is a coffee shop, is a bakery, a restaurant. Are they planning to expand in the future, and when? And all this data has been used to actually improve their experience on the website. We don't want to reach out to a customer in a month when the initial plan to expand is in a year. So that actually made a huge difference. And again, we, just for the sake of our customers, we've put a lock on that feature. It's mainly fill in the profile, which is a change that we've done maybe 6 months after. We've added that locking the feature until the customers fill in the profile. And yeah, that was mainly how we started, and slowly moved and until we've reached now.
Absolutely. So especially in B2B, all those data points that you have mentioned are huge. So as you were saying, if someone has already purchased some equipment and you know that the next time they are going to be looking for something is going to be in a year, there's absolutely no point in crafting communication in a month or in several weeks. So from this point of view, like developing this loyalty program as a way to understand your customers better, it's absolutely spot on. There is also one brilliant aspect to the program, and it was focused around partnerships. If you could tell us a bit more about like the way you are using partnerships within the program, so still it actually makes the experience better.
So to hire for that, actually, we've used 2 tools that we had. So the first tool, which is the most important, was the business profile. As you said, it helps us understand what type of customers that we're working with. We had this information in the past, but not as detailed. The second was a customer survey. So what we're actually doing every quarter, we send out a survey to all our web, like everyone that done all the activities, fill in their business profiles and so on. And we send out a survey asking them about what do they think. This is a very simple survey. What do they think about the service, about Rowed? What do you think about ekuep? What kind of rewards are they looking for? And also what other loyalty programs they are actually using, either in their personal life or in their business. And business-wise, what other service providers that they're working with on daily basis or weekly basis or month. With collecting all this, when collecting all this information, that actually help us build a better persona for our customers. We understand what we've seen, what are the top services that they use in their personal life, their loyalty programs, and what kind of services they use in their professional life with their business, either their coffee shop, where they're buying their raw materials, and so on, what the wholesale company they prefer. And collected all this data, and now we understand what is the top services that our clients are using. Using this information, we started approaching some of those companies to actually try to cultivate partnerships with it. So at the end of the day, we wanted to create a better customer experience. And again, we know our customers, for example, use this X service on weekly, monthly basis, whatever. So we wanted to have some sort of partnership with them. Maybe they can use our points on their platform or vice versa. And actually help us understand. There's a lot of information that we were not familiar with. Some suppliers, we didn't know that they were big in the market. We know that they're big, but we didn't know that they're actually number one, not number 2 and 3. And I believe that helped us a lot. Also, because when our MVP for the WAD was simply point-based, all this information at the end help us tailor make rewards for our customers. Because some customers, 5% might not be enough. Maybe they want like 10%, but with certain cap on the discounts or whatever. So that was actually a huge game changer for us. And again, loyalty program was uncharted territory for us because when we started, but now I believe that collecting all this information help us build a way better customer experience for our clients.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you for sharing that. It's also like, incredibly important to go beyond, let's say the business. I know that it's not that obvious, but with the information that you have collected, and being able actually to craft the proper rewards, it definitely helps with engagement and the value. Because once you realize, okay, these types of rewards are going to be perceived by the customers as more valuable, right? Then the redemption will definitely be higher. So absolutely spot on design tip. Okay, so just coming back briefly to the technology part, and actually wanted to emphasize, the fact that the speed, the elements that are visible throughout our conversation is definitely the sort of like convenience and being able to quickly develop the MVP. And I also appreciate and really like your iterative approach to the design. So in fact, it means let's start quickly with the basic mechanics, and then let's collect the feedback. Let's see what is happening, how our customers react to what we have already developed, and then let's try to build on that. Let's try to use this knowledge in order to make those small iterations and sort of like a small progress. So here definitely this speed element is great. If you could share your some sort of hints or like tips for the members of the audience who actually think about, launching the program, but maybe they believe that they still need some time, or maybe they need to, like collect some research first. What would be
Um,
your answer?
well, research is very important, but again, in life, a real life application, what I can say is just start. Okay, so here's what happens with a lot of people. So a lot of people will try it. I don't want to complicate. I don't want to say complicate things, but they spend so much time in research, creating the plan and development and so on, and which is something, by the way, like we're guilty of. We wanted to do the same. We wanted to launch a very big program with a very complicated features, a lot of gamification. We wanted to have tier system from day one and so on. But again, we've actually we stopped and said no. Let's just launch, and as I said, in a very short time, and we have a very simple point based program, and then get the feedback. Because simply we'll spend so much time researching, working on features, and your customer might not actually even use, and that will be a waste of time, waste of resources. So again, start with a very simple MVP to just start. And then through feedback, you actually find out, okay, oh, actually our customers need that feature, not that one. And so on. And that's exactly what we're doing, where we started very, very simple. And again, even the simplicity of the program, it's still an added value to our customers. And then through the whole year, we've been adding features, we've been improving the experience, improving the design of the program, and so on and so on and so on. And it's all based on the feedback of the customer, which is very important. Running a quarterly, I don't want to say monthly, but run a quarterly survey feedback loop that will give you clarity on what is the next feature that you need to develop, and so on and so on. Especially if loyalty was an uncharted territory for you as a business. Probably as a person, you've been using loyalty programs forever. Doesn't mean that those loyalty programs it's gonna be adding the same value to our customers. And again, I'm very guilty of that. I've been researching a lot of programs, trying to look for very sophisticated features to add to our programs. But at the end of the day, when I started working on documentation, but probably this is okay. It looks nice on paper, and it looks fancy on when you have a UI design for it. But again, it's a waste of time and resources because your customer will not use that, especially with B2B customers, which tend to use your platform maybe twice, 3 times a year. You can make them, you can actually keep them engaged with other things. Again, that's based on the feedback. So what I want to say for anyone that wants to start their loyalty program is just start, keep it simple, and then build over it, develop it as you go. It's very simple as that.
Yeah. Absolutely, thank you. So I remember that, for example, you've mentioned that with the partner programs, um, you've noticed that some of the customers, they once they've bought a lot of equipment, they accumulated a lot of points, but simply they have no reasons for spending the points, let's say, in the following months. So still you enabled spending the points like together in partnership with, in partnerships, yeah, with a certain partner, and actually make it valuable, make it like allow your customers to feel that, okay, I have accumulated a lot of points, and since I do not have the need to spend it on the equipment, but still I can use it here with this partner, and I immediately feel the value of the program. So that
Correct.
was
As
absolutely smart.
Yeah, and again, we actually have like a couple of brands on our group. And before actually reaching out to partners, we said, okay, so for example, we have kavashop.com, which is for consumer coffee, espresso machines, grinders, and so on. We actually created vouchers, very simple vouchers. Our customers can redeem their vouchers on our other platform, and we're seeing a lot of people actually using it. And again, it was very simple because it was all in-house. It's simply we had to connect our platform with Kava Shop, which is already something that we have. And later on, as he said, from the customers' feedback, we looked at their what providers, what services they use in even their on their daily life, maybe a car wash, and which is one of the services that we reached out. We didn't finalize anything, but this is one of the things that we thought about. Although that's actually a business customer, but there is services that they use in their daily life, maybe an airline ticket discount, and so on and so on and so on. This is through everything was through the survey, and it's very simple as long as you have everything digitally. You don't have to call the customers and ask for the feedback. This is very simple survey, and there was an incentive as well. So finish the survey, and the survey takes like less than 5 minutes. Finish the surveys, and you get an extra points, and so on and so on. So again, through that, because again, our clients spend a lot of money on their orders, they accumulate a lot of points. They can simply use with their order. Our points expires in a year, and sometimes we can extend it, no problem. But that's not going to happen in case of all customers. So that's why we started looking out for partners that our clients can actually use our points to spend it on their platforms, and so on.
Yeah, absolutely. So thank you for explaining, how it might possibly work, especially when in the B2B scenario, as you mentioned. Sometimes it's just like, the customer is clearly like, looking for something like 3 times a year or twice a year, or maybe even once a year, right? So then the design of the program needs to be actually in line with customer behavior, and not against it. So that's brilliant. You have described the MVP version. You have guided us through Rawad currently. Now, I wanted to ask you about the plans for the future. Based on the amount of feedback that you gather, based on your previous experiences, where do you see, Rawad going in the future?
Well, there is a lot of features that we haven't implemented yet. We're trying to improve the program on quarterly basis as much as we can. We have a lot of work in the background. We've been discussing launching the tier system, and I believe this is going to be huge. I know tier system is going to be a little bit challenging, especially in the B2B environment. However, we've been working on the benefits that we're gonna give different segments of customers, and I believe this is gonna be our next quarter. I'm hoping that we launch it early next year, and so we're mainly trying to make sure that Rawad is number one in B2B loyalty. Again, I don't believe that there's anyone else that done the same thing, at least in our line of business for a B2B model. So again, we're trying to improve it, try to make sure we provide the best customer experience. Changes, by the way, might not be just launching a new fancy feature and so on. But again, like I just want to share a very small example of some change that we made that made a huge difference for us and for our customers. So on our website, how to access the web program, there's on the top, there's it shows your name and like the number of points, or it says web and number of points. When you click on it, it takes you to their web page. Although it's very simple, that was very annoying for a lot of customers that were browsing the website. So simply they're on a product page, and they click on it, and it just goes to another page away from their product, and it was just like it actually like stops you from, okay, where am I? We implemented a very simple change. So we actually, instead of having a dedicated page, the whole Rawad dashboard, we turn it into a pop-up. So you're in the product page, and you click on Rawad to check your coupons, you check activities or whatever, and simply a huge pop-up comes up. You can check everything, close it up, and you're back to your browsing experience. And I believe that that's actually one of the things that made a huge deal when it came to customers actually noticing the program and so on. Another very simple change that we actually implemented a very simple button on the checkout process and a pop-up. So because there was an issue with us in terms of how visible is the program and how often customers use it. Sometimes we have a lot of customers check out without even using and they have a discount. So it is visible there. It shows, okay, you have codes, you can use it, you have a discount. And if they didn't see that, when they click checkout, you give them a pop-up. By the way, you still have a discount you haven't used. And that's it. And I believe that actually improved our program utilization to, it was probably 18 to 20% by the beginning of the year. And now we've reached 30%. During the major campaigns, even went above 30%. And that's, I believe that was a huge success for us. So
Perfect.
very
Yeah,
simple
obviously,
changes,
like
but
the
makes
numbers
a
are
lot of,
impressive.
yeah. So again, it's very simple changes that it took us time until we through the data that we have and data that we collected and how much the customers are using. Are they using codes like discount codes, or are they just using points to get value? All this information that we've collected through the program actually helped us a lot in deciding what's the next thing that needs to be added to the program and to improve it, to improve our numbers, and at the same time improve customers' experience.
Absolutely. Thank you for actually clarifying that, because I have a tendency to, like discuss mechanics and then like try to focus on like, right, what's next? How could you like, what could you add to that? But you speak from experience, and exactly as you're saying, who cares what kind of mechanics you have if nobody is actually using the program, right? So first, with the
Exactly.
MVP version, you focus on program adoption, which is probably the best goal there is. That, okay, let's make sure that actually customers see the program and also they see the value immediately. So this is perfect, and I'm so happy that you actually explained the whole idea that at first, okay, you can develop MVP, but then you need to make sure that the adoption is really high. And here, like listening when where you see, let's say, over 30% of visitors or customers actually signing in for the loyalty program, this is huge. So congratulations on that.
Thank you so much. And finally, I just want to say, because sometimes adding more features can hurt the program. And so, because some people, when they see like a loyalty program that has only like point-based system and that's it, sometimes they say, okay, this is not a mature program, or they just started soon. And sometimes you see a program that has hundreds of features and so on. But again, it depends on your needs. And as we said in the beginning, when we started, that was the point-based system. That was the best feature that we could have started with. And later on, depends on what type of customers you're working with and the feedback you get from them, you might actually end up with the same features running for years. And that's what actually making money for your business, like repetitive orders and higher card values, probably from one features. And again, it depends. So again, it's very important to start right away, collect feedback, because without the feedback, you'll start building a blind program. You don't know what your customer needs. You start introducing features that they will never use. And again, it's cost you time and money at the end of the day.
Absolutely. Yeah. I couldn't agree more. Obviously, like, when we think about previously, I mean, recently, like 2 weeks ago, we have published like a huge loyalty trends report. And then, we asked loyalty professionals about let's say, the future of the industry in the following year, and a lot of them mentioned gamification as the sort of like a concept that is like, currently very popular and most common. And obviously this is huge, but if done well, you can actually gamify the experience with points and rewards. This is, for example, something you have done in ROAD when it comes to completing the business profile, because as a user, when you go in, you are automatically incentivized to complete the program with additional, with like bigger number of points, right? As far as I remember, you get like 3,000 points for completing the profile right away, which also, like, in a way, it gamifies the experience, because as you've mentioned, then you have the proper number of points in order to get the 5% discount immediately. So this is cool. This is very smart, and this is like, using, actually gamifying the experience with the basic points and rewards. There are also like those, I would say, two most popular mechanics when it comes to e-commerce. So then the tiers that you've mentioned, I'm really curious to see, how you are going to use the tiers. I'm pretty sure that it's going to be really smart, because it is definitely going to be measured with the customers, and the feedback is going to be collected. So, I'm just like waiting patiently for to see how you actually go with tiers. And then we have achievements. So there is this non-transactional part to loyalty that you could, for example, let's say that you could complete 3 purchases in a month to get even like a bigger discount, right? Or maybe you could write 3 product reviews in a particular category, or maybe like, across categories, and then unlock something exclusive. So in this case, there are different options. Obviously, the mechanics are there for all of you who think about, like, checking out the loyalty engine. This is actually the idea for the product, that you do have available mechanics, but you need to be really smart when it comes to design. And I really like your way of designing, Chadi, that you start with the MVP and you actually focus on adoption. So just check feedback and see if customers really want to use the program.
Correct. And I believe if there's any features that it can be added to the program and it will not cost you the time and the money, there's no problem of introducing this and see how the customers will actually receive it. It's very simple, as you said, like you can get points from writing a review. Something that we're going to be introducing very soon. It's a referring a friend, which is mainly a B2C feature, but we developing that will not take time from us. So this is something we're gonna be introducing with the tier system. So again, we have, if you complete a survey, you get extra points. It's all non-transactional activities. And if you're a fair friend and this friend like made their first purchase, you get a certain, like, a very special coupon code that takes like very special discount and so on, which is, as you said, need to be smart on what you're actually introducing. So again, as we said, if it's something very simple, you can introduce to your clients without wasting time on developing, yeah, why not?
Absolutely. Yeah. Thank you so much, Chadi. I think that, it's a sort of like a moment where we could wrap things up, because we do have like both the big picture for the B2B program, and we also have a sort of like a deep dive into ROAD as a great example. There are those, like, key takeaways that come to my mind at this point. So first of all, as you've mentioned, like, start with an MVP. If you can just figure out the easiest possible way to introduce a loyalty program to your customers and just implement it, and then start collecting feedback, this is probably the first, most important thing. And then the second thing that you've mentioned is, like, focus on enrollment, see the adoption, if it really, like, if it sticks, because I can imagine people investing a lot of time and money into developing something truly sophisticated, but then watching it with a broken heart that, it's not sticky, like customers do not really use it. So that would be an awful mistake in a business context. And your iterative approach. So you start with with an MVP, but then collecting regular feedback, you improve. So each iteration is even more valuable for the customers. So thank you so much for sharing these. And before we wrap up, is there anything else you would like to share with the audience?
No, I just want to say thank you so much for having me on this webinar, and I'm very grateful for our partnership. And I believe um, uh, Open Loyalty team actually had a huge impact. There was some time that we wanted to actually get feedback from your team. They were very helpful to show us like examples from successful programs that they worked with in the past, and that was an eye opening because again, getting feedback from business experts, someone who's been in the loyalty business for a while now, that was a huge add-on to our business as well. Again, as I said, we don't want to introduce something. We still didn't have enough data to see if this will work or not, but your team actually helped a lot in our journey with their web, and for that we're very grateful.
Awesome. That's great to hear. Yeah, definitely. We are on a mission actually to help, implementing and starting and building loyalty. So I'm really glad that you found it useful. Definitely it is awesome for me as well that now you are actually, inspiring the community and you are giving back, both with the case study and also with today's webinar and with the deep dive. So thank you so much for joining us today. And everyone who is watching, if you have any further questions to Shadi or to me, just, make sure that you type it in the comments, and definitely we're going to get back to you with the answers. So thank you so much and have a great day.
Thank you so much, Eric, and have a great day. Thank you for having me.